It's Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD. So in the game there are multiple modes. We've got the main game, which has a series of levels. We've got party games where you play 10 types of party games and you play with friends, yay. Then there's an online ranking, so you view your records. We've got the Decathlon, which is new, so you're basically competing in a series of games in order to get a score in comparison to others. And there's time attack, where you're trying to clear, the stages as fast as possible and compared to the others in the world. So we're gonna jump into the main game here. There are multiple characters that you can play as, which is quite cool, and then you can change their costume too as you unlock new things. And you'll notice that each character has different abilities: speed, jump, bounce, life, so forth. So we're gonna pick with the pirate thing. There's a bunch of levels. These levels all have a bunch of stages within them, and you work through them getting times and high scores. I figured it was easiest just to show off the game, add its basics, and then show off a little bit of the later content, just so you get a mix what this is. So this was originally released on the Wii in 2006. There's 100 single player stages, 10 multiplayer mini games, revamped control schemes, and all that. So if you're not familiar with Super Monkey Ball, as you see, you're a super monkey in a ball. I'm assuming that's what that stands for. And you're moving through these stages that have floating platforms, and you're trying to get to the post as fast as possible. And there are bananas that you can catch along the way, and these give you points. And yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Every stage has a different challenge to it, different speeds, different dimensions. Sometimes you have to fight a boss. These always appear at the end of the worlds, and they're not necessarily difficult to take on, but yeah, some of them do provide a bit of an awkward challenge with what they are. You're usually like hitting the ball against some sort of like button on them in order to beat them, and then you have to keep doing that a few times until you defeat them. The game isn't difficult. It's definitely meant for the younger audience, that's for sure. But yeah, it does provide quite a bit of a challenge because it's just sort of designed that way. I mean, you're a rolling ball moving through a map and trying to hit a post, which can be a little bit tough at times, It depends on the type of player you are. But occasionally I feel a little nauseated playing this type of game just due to the background in combination with what's going on in the foreground. That's nothing to negate any of the qualities of the game. It's just something I feel when I play this one, just because it gets so crazy sometimes. But I mean, it's Super Monkey Ball, right? It definitely takes me back to the old days when I played this on, I think, the GameCube, which was a long time ago. Oh, there's bonus stages too, so you can just get a lot of bananas and feel really good about your Monkey Ball collection. So if you noticed in the top right, there's like the bananas you've collected, and then there's your lives. It doesn't really matter. You can just lose all your lives and, restart or whatever. It's really not a big deal unless you're doing some sort of score system thing with it. Just in case you're wondering, for the younger audience out there, in case they get stressful about losing lives, it's not at all a big deal. It's the equivalent to just falling out of a level and dying or something like that. Not a problem. You do get a variety of challenges. Again, this is the first chapter area, so you're mostly getting a variety of things that are meant to teach you how the game plays, the physics involved with it. As you can see in the bottom left, you've got a sort of speed meter going on there. That's just so you can understand the core mechanics and be able to compete properly. So the Decathlon Mode is something that's new. It wasn't in the original game. It's a mode where players compete to get the best score in a collection of 10 mini-games. Scores will be uploaded to the online leaderboard. And yeah, so you can enjoy challenging friends and others online. I just wanted to highlight that because everything else has basically been restored, and it does actually look really good visually. I think it's very clean, colorful, vibrant. It's got annoying menu music. Yeah, it's everything you expect out of a Super Monkey Ball game. A franchise that I don't think has really had any sort of presence outside of maybe mobile titles for a very long time. So it's neat to see the fact that they brought it back. I'm assuming they're doing an interest check in order to do maybe more. So it's cool. I mean, it's a franchise that's different and brings a lot of energy to the table. So that's something that's cool, I guess. It really depends if this is your type of experience. I think it's kind of fun. I get the value of it. It's not necessarily something I'm going to love playing all the time, but you do get a fair amount of content, the levels, the competitive options. you know, it's what it is, right? It's that Super Monkey Ball experience that you might have remembered for the Wii, but I'm assuming most people are playing this for the first time, so it's a good introduction into what the franchise does provide. And it does so pretty cool. I mean, you get lots of like single player based stuff, and then there's also the option to play up to 4 players if you want to do local things. And you know, you get those fan favorite party games, I guess they're called. It's fine. You know, it's a fairly cohesive package. There's quite a bit to this. This is the first like boss fight that you do in the game. See this thing going down, and then you hit it in the head, and then you keep going around, and then it flaps around and stuff like that. You can climb up on it. But we're going to take this point to switch over to one of the later levels so that you can see what that looks like. So this is one of the later stages, a little bit snowy, and, you know, a different atmosphere, different environment. They do a good job of mixing things up so each of the stages kind of feels like it fits in its respective collection, while also being unique within it and having each collection feel different from the previous collection. And they each got some kind of like biome going on to them, which is fine. I mean, you don't really get that a whole lot with the background aesthetic, but that's the point of it, is that it's supposed to be more of a simple backdrop against the crazy movement that you're doing. It does look like an aged game in terms of the details in the world, but it does come across as modern because it is so clean in its presentation and the movement of the balls. It whips along, it feels fluid, it feels good, so that's, you know, a nice thing to have in this particular title. It's really just Super Monkey Ball. You get a lot of stages, you roll around in a ball, you work through the challenges, you whip through them, you try to get the best times possible. Or you go and collect bananas because you want a good score. You know, the choice really is up to you how into this you want to get. I do feel that this is good for the younger audience. Anyone can also play it and, you know, have a Super Monkey Ball time with the vibrant colors, over the top excitement and hype that the characters do provide within it. They are certainly happy to be Super Monkey Balling. And I'm surprised that they're able to not get dizzy despite the, you know, being in a ball. I'd really like to understand the lore behind the system of how these monkeys got in the ball. Is this something they wanted to do, and why is this happening? Like, I know there's like a opening cinematic kind of thing that sets the stage for, there's like a pirate thing or something. I don't know. It was a short thing just to kind of introduce the setting, but yeah, it's like, what decides them needing to be in these balls in order to tackle the situation? Oh, no, thought I ran out. Oh, jeez. Yeah, just that like camera angle is so crazy. But it does handle well. I'm on the Xbox One X, so you know, it actually does feel kind of smooth for the platform. And we'll switch to another series of levels so you can see how that looks. So these are some desert levels. Again, seeing a difference within the biomes and what you get. Kind of some cool designs to it. Oh, jeez. Moving parts, and they're constantly challenging you in new ways, which is interesting. Like, I felt they probably could have dragged out some of the designs a little bit more, but they keep it nice and cohesive, so that way you have like pretty good pacing in this one, I want to say. Like, you're constantly feeling as though you're in a new level, a new world. It doesn't feel too similar to the previous ones, and every level is like a unique sort of thing in this. And of varying levels of difficulty too. Sometimes you'll be frustrated. Most of the time you'll just kind of whip through it. It's got that like speed effect thing that kind of made the Sonic games really cool back in the day. And it does definitely respect that and allows you to go really fast, but within reason too, because you have to have some level of control in order to land the monkey ball. Into the weird portal thing that I guess takes you to the next monkey ball level. I really am curious about the situation with these monkey balls and how this happened. Oh no, moving bridges. Yeah, they do some weird rotating things. Sometimes you'll have like spinning axles that have like a slide that you have to jump over while you're moving through the level. It gets quite tricky. It's an interesting build-up because, you know, like the first level or so in the area might be easier, and then it like gradually gets more and more intense as things progress. And there are ways to sort of like cut through some of the levels too. Some of them are like more spirally based. Oh geez, that was bad. No. But yeah, I don't think it's too difficult for anyone to get into. It does provide a bit of a challenge though. You might get slightly frustrated playing it, but it's pretty easy going for the most part. Uh-oh. Whoa. And it does feel relatively fun to a degree, I guess, too. It's alright. it's just like so wild and like fast paced for me. It's crazy. And then you got all this like stuff moving and everything while you're moving, and it kind of like, I don't know, it's just so much to take in. It's an awful lot when it gets really crazy. Not right now, but when it's like really moving around, you're going fast, you're hitting things. Yeah, so definitely an interesting remake. I guess I'd like to see them maybe do more Super Monkey Ball, or like I don't know, basically do more remakes or do a fresh take on it. I'd be interested to see what they would do with a modern take on the series, just due to this being like, you know, a remake of what's actually a very old game. I'm surprised it actually, considering the age, holds up as well as it does in terms of the content it provides. I think that's really interesting. And just the fact that the Wii really wasn't something that, you know, was meant for like HD visuals, so the fact that the resolution upscales so well is rather impressive in my opinion. And you can actually move through levels slowly, as I'm kind of doing, or you can go fast and be reckless. It really depends on what your goals are within the game. Are you trying to hit those marks where you're like, oh, I've got the best speed, or are you just trying to like finish the game, which is totally fine too. Oh jeez, come on. Okay, there we go. We get through this hole? I don't think we can. Maybe. Nope. Definitely cannot. Now we gotta go along the pyramid. Nice and easy to finish the level. Unless we have to climb the pyramid. Oh, that'd be crazy. No, we just gotta get around this corner and not die tragically, as that would be depressing. What? Super Monkey Ball.